So how do we strengthen stakeholder relationships in business? So stakeholders for us can really mean anyone that's supporting us and our business. So it can be team members. We might have an organization that's got cross functions, matrix organization, in which there's lots of stakeholders that have to be able to help us to achieve our goals. The stakeholders could also mean board of directors. They could also be our suppliers and our customers at the end of the day. So stakeholders is a broad term for anyone that we really need their support to make us and the business as successful as it could possibly be. So why do we want this? We know that if we have strong stakeholder support, it leads to better decisions or quicker decisions. The support of them to align us and be focused on a single goal or objective and driving towards that. It can also slow down approvals that are needed, especially if that's customers or vendors that are waiting for other bits of information or to kind of get that feel if this is what they want to do. And overall, it really reduces the integrity around yourself and being able to push those type of things through. Strong stakeholder relationships allow everything to move so much easier. It's because they have that trust, that feeling inside of them that they know that this is someone that they can rely on and work with to, make sure that the goal for everyone is exactly where they want it to go. But how do we build on that systematically through a proven system to allow us to actually build that stakeholder influence? So here's 3 things that I work with other business owners and team members on how they can progressively build stronger stakeholder relationships. The first one, and you may have heard me say this a couple of times before on other videos as well, is practice your active listening, specifically for what problems or challenges do they have that you could be helping with inside of this. Now, you might not be able to solve all of their problems, but where can your goals and motivation and drive that you need to get accomplished, how can that line up with their challenges and how it can make their lives easier? So active listening is the only way to do this. Really listening to what they're saying, not just hearing, but listening and understanding. A great little technique is to repeat back sometimes, not to the extreme. I've heard, horror stories sometimes, and they repeat back 5-6 times. People are sick of it and they want to go on to the next meeting. So you want to take a breath, listen, repeat back what you heard, and put on your own pieces in there to really understand this is the problem that they have. Am I getting it right? And now look, here's a solution. Let's work together to see if this can make both our lives easier. The second one is communicating to them in a tailored fashion. So what I mean by tailored fashion is, we used to say the golden rule is, communicate to others like we would want to be communicated to. It goes in line with treat people the way that you would want to be treated. That makes perfect sense. But the platinum rule, let's say, the one that can outdo that is you communicate to people the way that they would like to be communicated to. So how do we know that? There's some great assessments that I use with all of my clients. DISC, so the DISC assessment. It's a very simple but accurate way of categorizing people's styles, and then also a lot of information about how they would like to be communicated to. So understanding someone's DISC profile, you don't have to give them an exercise and say, hey, fill this out. It is very good for your teams, but if I'm talking stakeholders that are maybe let's just, customer, suppliers, maybe the board of directors, maybe that's something that you don't want to do. But by active listening and understanding how they communicate, a little bit more extroverted, a little more introverted, are they talking more about tasks, are they talking more about people when they're communicating, you can start to see trends, be able to kind of label them and put them in a pretty clear idea about how they like to be communicated, and then tailor your updates for that type of personality. It's almost like you're speaking to them in their language, right? It's a huge boost in breaking down barriers, building up trust, strengthening relationships, and that's what we're talking about, strengthening those stakeholder relationships. So DISC assessments, even if it's not a full profile assessment that you're going through, but using those skills inside of those teachings to really be able to communicate in a tailored fashion to that individual. And the third one is to make sure that we are communicating in the right tailored way, but wins. So small wins that are leading towards that, not just, we're not celebrating things that are so small that don't make sense to that person. They have to be in the right kind of communication style, but we're celebrating small wins along the way to get to our goal. Having small wins at the start of those conversations, or making sure that we have those updates, just helps build momentum and carries things forward. So we're looking for forward-moving communication. A great way to do that is to show at the beginning, this is what's already been achieved, this is what we're doing, this is where we're going, building up so that they understand where things are going, how they can help eventually, because they're going to want to help on this path going forward when we're building these stakeholder relationships up. We just need to get them kind of on the bus with us, and celebrating, communicating those small wins is a great way for us to continue down that path with them and making sure they're part of this journey. So strong stakeholder ties just helps so much inside a business, whether it's driving to the results and the goals that you're looking for, overall loyalty with team members, with supply bases, even with customers, and getting that mission and vision that you have for your business, getting that achieved, or getting it to that next level. Having this all tied together makes everything so much easier. So if you're looking at implementing some of these things into your day-to-day business, more than happy to talk. ActionHTX.com. You can reach out for a free consultation, talk through a little bit about some of these articles or some of these kind of points here, and even maybe go into more about DISC assessments. That might be a great way for you to start tailoring that communication to those stakeholders that you maybe have some challenges with, or you want to build that relationship up stronger because you know how important it's going to be in the long run. I'm Andrew Buchan, your Business Accelerator.